Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, we are in the peak of hurricane season, but the Atlantic has been eerily quiet over the past few weeks. But now we are starting to see it come back to life. To talk more on this lull and how rare it is, we're going to bring in Houston Chronicle meteorologist Justin Ballard. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Thanks for having me.
And it's been kind of nice having a nice little lull, but the last named storm to actually form in the Atlantic, Fernand, which was back in August 23rd, and just now this morning we have Tropical Storm Gabrielle. So how common is it for us to have that big of a lull in between storms?
I mean, it's been over 3 weeks at this point, so
it
has been a while, and I want to kind of put this in perspective. You know, if you go back to August 23rd when Fernand formed, we have not had a single named storm since. So from August 28th, when Fernand, or August 29th, technically when Fernand was completely kaput, to September 16th, just yesterday, no named storms. The last time that's happened in the Atlantic Basin, 1992. So it's the quietest stretch of what's normally a very busy hurricane season, or a very time of hurricane season, since 1992. So 33 years.
1992.
Yep. That's
pretty wild.
Yeah, and if you remember 1992, now I was 1. You were probably not even born yet. You were 1.
Oh, no. We were both 1-year-olds.
We're both 1-year-olds. Andrew was the first storm of the season in 1992, came ashore in South Florida as a Cat 5. I want to show you the rest of the 1992 season as well, because there really, outside of Andrew, wasn't a whole lot going on. There were only 6 named storms that season. Of course, this is a reminder that it only takes 1.
Yeah, because we all remember Andrew, of course.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so we also saw a pretty substantial lull late August into early September of last year. Is there any climate connection that we're seeing to this, of what we're seeing this year?
So there is a climate connection with hurricane season. I actually spoke with Philip Klotzbach, who's at Colorado State University. They issue one of the kind of leading early season forecasts in early April. And he said the connection between kind of the peak season lull and, what we, expect to see during the course of a normal hurricane season, there's not really much of a climate connection. It's really uncertain as to whether or not there is a climate connection kind of altering peak activity. However, where there is a climate connection is between earlier and later storms. We know this, the Atlantic hurricane season, aside from the last couple of years, has really started in May in some instances, even earlier in some years. I think 2003 was one where we had one in April. And then, of course, warmer sea surface temperatures are at least partially responsible for that, as well as, favorable wind shear environment, other sort of environmental factors like that.
Okay, good point. Now, even though the peak has been quiet, we can't necessarily let our guards down here.
We can't.
I know a lot of people are like, we made it past the peak, we're good.
Yeah,
no, it doesn't work like that.
Not yet. At least not, broadly speaking. Now, Texas is maybe a little different, when we're talking about hurricane season, but we're not too far removed from the hurricane season peak date, right? September 10th through 11th or 12th is kind of that time. So we're on the back end of that now, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're in the clear, especially further east you go. So we're talking Florida, our friends in Florida along the East Coast, especially late September into October is really when it becomes a problem for them. Here in the Gulf, usually by mid-October, we're starting to wrap things up, especially in the Western Gulf.
Yes, so mid-October, that's really our golden time. Let's talk about the Gulf a little bit more. How are we shaping up so far?
We're shaping up really well in terms of tropical activity. We've obviously not had anything. Now that I've said that, I've jinxed us, but
right, I know,
throw some salt over the shoulder, whatever. Wind shear has been plentiful over the Gulf, and that's really contributed to a lot of lack of, I should say, tropical development this season, and that's okay with me. We had Barry that made landfall in northeastern Mexico in July or late June, so I'm okay with it being fairly quiet for now.
And we love seeing as much purple as possible on this map, because we'll check this one, of course, all the time to see what the wind shear is doing. But
sea surface temperatures make a big difference, but so too does wind shear.
So does wind shear, and it's actually done its job pretty well this year, which has been good for us.
Now, we've got a little fun surprise.
We do. I am so happy that we get to do this today. Justin gets to be on our Weather Joke Wednesday. Okay, so your weather joke and y'all's weather joke is, how did the raindrop greet the flower in the morning?
And you gave me this 5 minutes ago, and I still haven't come up with an answer. But I'm gonna say with a wave. With a wave.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. Instead, it's, hey there, how do you do?
D-E-W.
D-E-W. That's a knee slapper. That's a good one.
It's a good one. I like it.
You're a good sport. I love that. Thank you, Justin.